control, consequences. These are the three forces that shape every moment of your life, yet most people sabotage all three with one careless mistake. They speak too soon, too much, and to the wrong people. Listen carefully, because what you're about to hear is not motivation. It is a psychological warning, a Machiavellian truth buried in history, strategy, and human nature. A truth that says your greatest enemy is often not outside you, but inside your own mouth. Let's begin. There is a reason Machiavelli wrote more about silence than about speech. A reason leaders, kings, emperors, and powerful men throughout history cultivated the art of saying less than necessary. Because words, once released, do not belong to you anymore. They belong to interpretation, to gossip, to power games, and to consequences you may not be able to control. Most people don't realize this until it's too late. Until their job is gone, their relationship destroyed, their opportunity stolen, their reputation damaged by the very sentences they spoke without thinking. You see, silence protects you, speech exposes you, and the wrong speech destroys you. This is Machiavelli's warning, and today we break down 10 situations where your own mouth becomes your downfall, even when your intentions are pure. Take a breath. Slow down. Let's go deeper. 1. When you explain yourself to people who don't respect you. One of the most common ways people betray themselves is by over-explaining. Trying to justify your decisions, defending your character, proving your worth to people who already made up their mind about you. Machiavelli teaches, he who seeks approval from the wrong crowd gives away power he does not realize he possesses. When you over-explain, you admit one thing. You believe they have authority over your truth. Your words do not convince them, they feed them. The more you talk, the more ammunition you hand to those who quietly doubt you or openly dislike you. Powerful people don't explain, they act. Weak people explain, they beg. And every unnecessary explanation digs your hole deeper. This is the first betrayal. Your mouth gives others permission to question your identity. 2. When you share your plans too early. Most dreams die the moment they are spoken aloud. Not because the dream is weak, but because the listener is. When you speak your plans before they are rooted, two dangers appear. Envy. People secretly hope you fail. Interference. People give you doubt disguised as advice. You think you are sharing to connect, but you are exposing your future to minds that lack your vision, your courage, and your hunger. Machiavelli warned rulers never to reveal strategy before execution, because if they cannot attack your plans, they will attack your confidence. And that is exactly what happens in everyday life. Your mouth reveals your ambition, and the world, unable to match your ambition, tries to reduce it. This is the second betrayal. You let weak minds weaken strong dreams. 3. When you react in anger. There are words you can never take back. Words sharp enough to cut through relationships, partnerships, and years of trust. Words spoken not from logic, but from emotional chaos. Anger makes you loud, but loud is not powerful. Controlled is powerful. In the court of kings, a man who reacted emotionally was considered unfit for leadership. because he revealed a dangerous truth. He can be provoked, and anything that can be provoked can be controlled. You betray yourself when you speak in anger because you hand the other person a blueprint to your weaknesses. This is the third betrayal. Your mouth exposes your emotional pressure points. 4. When you try to impress people. Machiavelli observed a simple rule. The desire to impress is the root of all humiliation. And yet, people talk the most when they are trying to appear strong, successful, or superior. But here is the truth. The moment you try to impress someone, you silently confess that they are above you. Your words become forced. Your stories become exaggerated. Your personality becomes artificial. You lose authenticity, and without authenticity, you lose respect. Powerful people don't speak to impress. They speak with clarity, purpose, and only when necessary. This is the fourth betrayal. Your mouth reveals your insecurity. 5. When you speak to fill awkward silence. Weak men fear silence. Strong men use silence. When you rush to fill silence, you expose nervousness, lack of confidence, lack of emotional control. Silence is a mirror, and most people talk to avoid seeing their reflection. But those who dominate rooms are not the loudest. They are the ones comfortable with stillness. Machiavelli wrote that silence creates fear and respect because people begin to wonder, what are you thinking? What do you know? Why aren't you speaking? Your silence becomes their anxiety. Their imagination becomes your power. But when you talk simply to avoid discomfort, you throw that power away. This is the fifth betrayal. Your mouth exposes your fear of being truly seen. Take a breath, because the next 5 situations reveal the most dangerous, the most self-destructive, and the most psychologically revealing forms of verbal betrayal. These next warnings are not about social etiquette. They are about survival in a world ruled by perception, strategy, and human nature. Stay with me. 6. When you speak after success. Success is intoxicating. It makes people talk too much, too fast, too confidently. But Machiavelli warned, after victory, tighten your guard, not your tongue. When people succeed, they reveal their alliances, their methods, their next moves, their vulnerabilities hidden behind triumph. The world listens more closely when you are winning, and your enemies listen twice as closely. This is the 6th betrayal. Your mouth exposes the architecture of your success, and once exposed, it can be dismantled. 7. When you speak in front of envious people. There is a moment in every person's life where they mistake proximity for loyalty, where they assume that because someone stands beside them, they stand with them. But Machiavelli warned, envy is the shadow that follows every rising sun. And you must understand this. Envious people don't attack you with violence. They attack you with listening. The envious sit quietly. They smile. They nod. They pretend to care. And they use your words as tools. Tools to undermine you. Tools to poison your reputation. Tools to make your confidence look like arrogance. Every detail you share becomes a weapon. Every confession becomes ammunition. Every casual statement becomes something they can twist. Envy doesn't destroy you directly. Your mouth gives it the material it needs. This is the 7th betrayal. Your mouth feeds the people who secretly want to see you fall. 8. When you speak to prove you're right.
There is a deep hidden insecurity in the human mind, the need to be right. But as Machiavelli understood, power is never in being right, it is in being silent enough to stay strategic. Weak people argue to win. Powerful people observe to understand. When you speak to prove yourself, you reveal your ego, emotional triggers, blind spots, insecurities, and desperation for validation. You might win the argument, but you lose the psychological war. A person who argues loudly exposes every part of himself. A person who remains calm exposes nothing. This is the 8th betrayal. Your mouth sacrifices strategy for ego. 9. When you share your weaknesses with the wrong person. In a perfect world, vulnerability would be safe. In a perfect world, honesty would be protected. In a perfect world, sharing your struggles would deepen your relationships. But Machiavelli didn't write about perfect worlds. He wrote about real ones. And in the real world, people remember your weaknesses far longer than your strengths. Many people cannot handle your vulnerability without losing respect for you, reevaluating your value, changing how they treat you, secretly elevating themselves over you. Your weakness becomes their quiet advantage. Your confession becomes their silent authority. This is why powerful people are selective with vulnerability, not closed, not cold, just strategic. Because once a weakness leaves your mouth, it enters their memory forever. This is the 9th betrayal. Your mouth reveals the leverage others can one day use against you. 10. When you speak without understanding the room. This is the deepest betrayal of all. The failure to read people, emotions, and power dynamics before speaking. Machiavelli wrote that a leader's greatest skill is not dominance, but perception. The ability to see what others don't say, to understand the unspoken hierarchy, to feel the invisible tension in the room. When you speak without reading the room, you risk offending the powerful, exposing your ignorance, revealing your intentions, misjudging alliances, embarrassing yourself.
Giving away social positioning. And here is the part most people never learn. Silence is felt before speech is judged. The most powerful individuals in any room are those who observe first, speak last, and rarely speak at all. This is the 10th betrayal. Your mouth reveals your lack of awareness, the one mistake the world punishes hardest. Pause. Think. Absorb this moment. Because these 10 situations are not random. They are connected by a deeper psychological truth, one that Machiavelli understood better than almost anyone. Your words are not just sounds. They are signals, signals that reveal your strength or your weakness. Every sentence you speak announces something about you, your confidence, your fear, your emotional discipline, your insecurities, your intentions, your ambitions, your blind spots. This is why the most powerful people speak carefully, strategically, and sparingly. They understand that words can destroy faster than enemies. They understand that a careless conversation can collapse a future. They understand that silence is not emptiness. Silence is control. Your mouth can betray your mind. Your mouth can betray your future. Your mouth can betray your destiny long before anyone else ever betrays you. And this leads us to the deeper lesson. the Machiavellian principle behind speech and power. Machiavelli believed something profound. A man who cannot control his mouth cannot control his life. That is the core, the center, the axis of power. Control your mouth, you control information. Control information, you control perception. Control perception, you control the game. This is why silence is sacred, why restraint is respected, why the people who speak the least are rarely underestimated. Your voice is a weapon, but only when used intentionally. Otherwise, it is a wound, a self-inflicted one. The cost of speaking too soon, a deeper revelation. There is a hidden cost attached to every word you release into the world. Most people never calculate it. Most people never feel it until everything they built begins to crack because of something they said in a moment of emotion. Every time you speak, you make a trade. You trade certainty for risk. You trade mystery for exposure. You trade invisibility for vulnerability. Words reveal your inner world, even the parts you did not intend to reveal. And Machiavelli understood this sacred rule. Power is preserved by silence far more often than by speech. This is why rulers spoke in measured tones, why generals revealed nothing before battle, why advisors whispered only when necessary, why kings hid their intentions behind stillness. Because the moment a word escapes your lips, it becomes a weapon in someone else's hands. It can be twisted, reframed, misunderstood, used, stored, remembered. People forget your kindness, but they will remember your slip of the tongue. People forget your discipline, but they will remember your moment of weakness. People forget the thousands of things you do right, but the wrong sentence becomes unforgettable. This is why speech must be treated like strategy. Calculated, precise, intentional. And this brings us to one of the deepest truths in human psychology. Why people want you to keep talking. Most people don't even realize how eagerly the world wants them to talk. Not because people care, not because people want to understand them, but because information is currency, and your words are the most valuable currency you possess. Every room you walk into contains three kinds of people. 1. The curious. They want entertainment. Your words give them something to think about, laugh about, gossip about. 2. The envious. They want leverage. Your words give them something to attack, twist, or weaponize. 3. The calculating. They want advantage. Your words give them insight into your patterns, weaknesses, fears, dreams, and vulnerabilities. This is why Machiavelli advised princes to listen far more than they speak. Silence was not shyness. Silence was not fear. Silence was not lack of confidence. Silence was protection. Silence was power. Silence was strategy. Those who speak too freely become readable. Those who become readable become predictable. And those who are predictable become controllable. Your silence forces others to guess. And when others must guess, you hold the advantage.
The psychological power of speaking less. Let's slow down here. Let this truth settle in your mind. There is a form of influence that does not come from charisma or charm or persuasion. It comes from restraint. When you speak less, your words become more valuable. People listen more closely. Your presence becomes heavier. Your authority increases. Your mystery grows. The less you say, the more people project onto you. And projection is power. People will imagine you know more than you do. People will believe you have more than you have. People will assume you are stronger, wiser, more controlled. That is the psychological advantage of silence. Others fill in the blanks with their own fear and admiration. Machiavelli knew this. Great strategists know this. Anyone who understands human nature knows this. Speech reveals you. Silence magnifies you. The dangers hidden in friendly conversations. One of the most overlooked traps in daily life is the casual conversation. Friendly talk, light talk, small talk. People underestimate the danger that hides inside harmless chatter. Most betrayals do not come from enemies. They come from people who listened to you casually and repeated you carelessly. You think you are bonding. They think they are passing time. You think the moment is harmless. They think the moment is forgettable. But the words you drop into the air follow you later like shadows. Never forget this. Every friendly conversation is a potential report to someone else. People repeat. People exaggerate. People distort. People invent. What begins as a harmless joke becomes a rumor. What begins as a confession becomes a weakness. What begins as vulnerability becomes ammunition. The world is not malicious by default, but it is careless by nature, and your mouth suffers the consequences of that carelessness. The price of being too honest. Honesty is a virtue, but Machiavelli taught that absolute honesty is a vulnerability. Not because honesty is wrong, but because not everyone can handle your truth without turning it into a tool. When you are too honest, people stop respecting your boundaries. People stop valuing your privacy. People stop perceiving your strength. People stop protecting your dignity. Not everyone deserves access to your truth. Not everyone is capable of guarding it. Not everyone has the emotional maturity to receive it. Honesty must be selective, strategic, directed toward people who have earned the weight of your truth. Otherwise, you expose yourself to a world that is far more perceptive and far more judgmental than you realize. This is why silence, not honesty, is the default position of the powerful. Honesty is reserved for the wise. Silence is reserved for everyone else. There is a law in human psychology. He who speaks first reveals his position. He who listens first controls the conversation. Think about that. When you speak early, you show your cards, your beliefs, your biases, your emotional state. But when you watch first, you learn what others want. You learn what others hide. You learn how others think. You learn where the power lies. People expose everything while trying to appear casual. Their insecurities leak through humor. Their ambitions slip out through stories. Their jealousy appears in their questions. Their weakness shows in their complaints. Their intentions reveal themselves in what they emphasize. The moment you speak too early, you lose the advantage of observation. The moment you speak too much, you become part of the noise instead of the signal. This is why powerful people enter quietly, observe completely, and speak only when the advantage is theirs. The most dangerous sentence you can ever say. Most people don't realize how deeply one sentence can destroy years of work. The most dangerous sentence you can ever say is, "Let me be honest with you," because what follows is always a confession, even if you don't intend it to be. Confessions reveal what you fear, what you regret, what you desire, what you are ashamed of, what you cannot control.
People may smile. They may say they understand. They may say they respect your honesty, but they never forget it. Never. This is why Machiavelli insisted, reveal nothing that can be used against you. Not because people are evil, but because people are human, and humans cannot resist the temptation to use what they know. Your confession becomes their power. Your honesty becomes their upper hand. Your vulnerability becomes their memory. You must learn to speak without bleeding, to express without exposing, to communicate without confessing. That is the way of psychological strength. The hidden economy of words, why silence is credit and speech is debt. There is a truth about words that most people never understand until it destroys something important in their lives. Every word you speak is a debt. Every silence you maintain is credit. Listen carefully. When you speak, you owe the world clarity, consistency, explanation, justification. But when you stay silent, the world owes you understanding. This is why powerful people speak rarely. They hold credit. They hold leverage. They hold unanswered questions. And in the realm of psychology and human behavior, unanswered questions are power. Unspoken truths are power. Unrevealed intentions are power. People fear what they cannot predict. People admire what they cannot read. People respect what they cannot easily access. Your silence creates distance. Your silence creates mystery. Your silence creates value. And this is why Machiavelli warned, what you reveal becomes your prison. What you conceal becomes your freedom. Your mouth can lock you into situations, relationships, promises, and expectations you never intended. But silence keeps every option open. Why the world punishes talkers and rewards thinkers. There is a harsh truth most people resist. The world does not punish silence. The world punishes speech. Think about it deeply. People lose jobs because of what they said. People lose relationships because of what they said. People lose opportunities because of what they said. People lose respect because of what they said. People lose trust because of what they said. But almost nobody loses these things because they were silent. Silence is safer than honesty. Silence is safer than explanation. Silence is safer than justification. Silence is safer than emotional expression. This is not cynicism. This is psychology, and Machiavelli understood it centuries before modern science did. In a world full of noise, the quiet man is never forgotten, never underestimated, never misread. Silence gives you time. Silence gives you control. Silence gives you distance. Silence gives you power. But speech? Speech takes those gifts away. Why most people talk themselves out of respect. Let's go deeper. Most people talk because they cannot stand the idea of not being seen, not being understood, not being validated, not being heard. This is the ego at work. The ego believes, I must speak so people know who I am. But Machiavelli would whisper back, if they truly need to know, they will watch your actions. People who talk to assert importance only reveal their insecurity.
People who talk to assert intelligence only reveal their lack of depth. People who talk to assert dominance only reveal their hunger for approval. And here lies a psychological paradox. The more you speak to prove yourself, the less credible you become. The less you speak, the more significant every word becomes. True power is not loud. True power is not needy. True power is not restless. True power is silent, patient, observant. It speaks only when the message is stronger than the silence. The threat of transparency, why people can use your truth against you. There is another truth people don't want to accept. Transparency feels noble, but in the wrong environment, it is suicide. People say, just be yourself, but they forget to add the second part. Be yourself around people who value who you are. Your truth is not safe with everyone. Your personality is not safe with everyone. Your opinions are not safe with everyone. Your dreams are not safe with everyone. And your weaknesses are not safe with everyone. And this is the cost of careless transparency. You reveal too much too soon. You trust too quickly. You open doors too widely. You give access too easily. You expose your emotional blueprint. The moment you do, people rearrange themselves in relation to your openness. Some move closer to take advantage. Some move away because they think less of you. Some stay only to extract more information. But silence forces people to come towards you empty-handed, with no leverage, no assumptions, no shortcuts.
Silence tests intentions. Silence filters motives. Silence protects your internal architecture. This is why Machiavelli treated privacy like a kingdom, guarded, fortified, selective. Your mouth can unlock the gates. Silence keeps them sealed. The social danger of being too real. Let's talk about something subtle, something modern people misunderstand deeply. You've heard the phrase, "I'm just being real." But being too real with the wrong mind is indistinguishable from being reckless. Realness without strategy is emotional exposure. Honesty without wisdom is self-sabotage. Openness without discernment is vulnerability without protection. The world does not reward authenticity blindly. The world rewards authenticity with boundaries. Machiavelli's warning is simple. Do not be real with everyone. Be real with the right ones. There is nothing noble about exposing yourself to those who cannot understand you. There is nothing brave about revealing your story to those who cannot respect it. There is nothing wise about giving emotional intimacy to those who have not earned it. Your mouth betrays you most when you confuse openness with wisdom. This is something most will deny, but you must hear it. The people who benefit most from your talking are 1. Opportunists. They look for slips, emotional triggers, insecurities, weaknesses to use later. 2. Competitors. They listen for your plans, strategies, ambitions, insights they can exploit. 3. Pretend allies. They listen for your fears, doubts, and frustrations, information they can spread. 4. Manipulators. They listen for your emotional wounds, leverage they can use to control you. 5. The bored and the bitter. They listen simply because your life entertains them. And you? You speak because you assume you're safe. But safety does not come from people. Safety comes from restraint. You cannot control how people interpret your words, but you can control whether or not you give them any. That is the essence of Machiavellian discipline. the one practice that makes you unreadable and unbreakable. If you want psychological power, if you want strategic advantage, if you want emotional stability, if you want protection in a world full of noise, do this. Say less, observe more. Let others reveal themselves first. Most people reveal themselves through their complaints, their gossip, their ambitions, their insecurities, their hatred, their jealousy, their opinions, their slip-ups, their excitement, their projections. You do not need to speak to understand people. You only need to watch. People expose everything in their language far more than they realize. But when you speak, you expose everything in yours far more than you intend. This is why silence is not emptiness. Silence is intelligence. Silence is position. Silence is preparation. Silence gives you the ability to be unreadable, and unreadable people are unmanipulatable. Unmanipulatable people are unbreakable. The silence that wins wars. Machiavelli understood something most people never learn. Control the flow of information, and you control the outcome of every conflict. Not just political wars, not just military wars, but personal wars, social wars, emotional wars, silent psychological wars. The person who speaks first reveals their boundaries. The person who speaks most reveals their weaknesses. But the person who remains steady, measured, intentional, that person becomes unpredictable. And unpredictability is power. It keeps your enemies nervous. It keeps your rivals guessing. It keeps manipulators afraid. It keeps opportunists unsure. It keeps the world off balance. Silence is not the absence of power. Silence is the origin of power. Because what people cannot understand, they cannot control. What they cannot predict, they cannot prepare for. What they cannot read, they cannot defeat. Your mouth can win attention, yes, but silence wins wars.